Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the south-afrifur Pawdcast. You're listening to myself, Ivy Wolf, here, and we have, of course, Scratch on the other side
Yo.
of every. Hello. So, couple of interesting things that we do kind of need to talk about. First off, obviously, welcome to the south-afrifur Podcast show here on Sunday evening. This is, of course, I say, of course. We haven't even updated anything at this point yet, but we'll update you as soon as we get to finishing this particular recording. But due to certain circumstances in South Africa, our power tends to go out for like 2-hour periods in whichever sort of neighborhood, it happens to be at any given point. Today, both Scratch and myself have been hit by the RNG of the month.
There's no RNG. It's a set schedule.
Yeah, it's a set schedule, but I'm going to call it RNG.
But whether they decide to push the level up to level 4 is a completely different question.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, South Africa is in a precarious position power-wise, in that we don't. Yeah, go for it. You're the engineer here.
Yeah. So we have this thing called load shedding, which is far less sexy than it sounds. Essentially, what it boils down to is the country cannot generate enough electricity to keep the lights on everywhere at any given point in time. So they put a schedule up for when certain communities will be without power for a while. And that schedule ranges in severity from like level 1 or stage 1, where they just have to save at any 1.1 gigawatt of power on the power grid, up to stage 4, where they're trying to save 4 gigawatts at any given time. And currently we are suffering stage 4 load shedding, which means we will quite frequently have bouts of power or bouts of no power for 2 hours or so. The schedule is set, and for myself and Ivik, it looks like this evening we will have an overlap for when the power will be out for the both of us. And unfortunately, it falls right smack bang when the show is supposed to start.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to pre-record this.
Yeah. So obviously you're listening to us pre-recording. It is currently 2 o'clock on a lovely, warm Sunday afternoon here in South Africa. Well, not South Africa, but I mean warm Sunday summer afternoon in Gauteng. I'm not necessarily sure what it's like down your side.
It's gray and cool.
God damn it, I want gray and cool.
I know, I want it to be rainy and wintry, like as much as humanly possible.
Yeah, but all the time, actually.
No, but
not all the time, because I don't want us to become like sour.
Yeah, like Britain.
British. Yeah.
So yeah, with regards to whenever rotational load shedding is in play, we will keep you guys up to date with regards to what's happening with the show. Perhaps it will result in a cancellation, hopefully not. But more often than not, I think that we will just pre-record something or find the guest and pre-record that as well. But yeah.
So, I mean, generally, obviously, this is going to be a mostly an update of what is happening within like south-afrifur, the organization, and everything like that, particularly between, what we're actually doing and things like that. Now that I know that we've been sort of very quiet in respect to having guests, particularly on the show. It's mostly just been like recording, or at least like music and whatnot. And I've been online and whatever and been busy. But the thing is that obviously our main content as south-afrifur has always been the idea that we have guests and that we do speak to them, and that it becomes something that we've not necessarily done in a while, particularly because, I think there was a point that our schedules, A, didn't necessarily line up properly, and B, it was just, it had become difficult to just sort of organize things within the week. And I think that like where we're standing now, we're actually able to sort of get there. And I know that I'm technically actually making like excuses for myself rather than Scratch, because Scratch has always been available and ready to do what is necessary. It's just that we haven't necessarily, you know, gotten round to them.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's that. But speaking of which, we do have a couple of things to speak about in respect to the schedule. Currently, for next week, we do have Arcantale, uh, who was on before or previously. He was speaking about his book. Um, wait, hold on. Uh, Goodness. Pangolin fox. I still find pangolin foxes to be like the cutest things on earth. No offense, like it's absolutely like every single time I see pictures of it, I'm just like, yeah. But yes, so books from the Legacy series, Legacy Fracture, are the two books that he has out. But we're also going to be talking with him more about the entire idea of some of the other projects that he's been doing. A large amount of them being, things that we'll get into, things that we'll actually talk about, because they are kind of, how should I say this? Controversial, but like good controversial stuff.
Hmm.
That's a weird way to say it.
Pushing the envelope.
Yeah, pushing the envelope. And in a good way, particularly because I mean I know that from my side, and it's never really been a secret or anything like that. It's just that like I fall under a very heavy sort of social justice position, and I tend to agree with a large amount of things that Arcantile has actually put up in respect to his Twitter, things like that. So I mean, like obviously, when it comes to planning and everything like that, a large amount of our stuff, particularly because I'm the person who tends to get guests at times, um, it puts it out there that we do have a slight agenda towards particular types of guests, and Arcantale obviously has a large amount of things to say about that, and we'd like to sort of just pick his brain a little bit in respect to what he has to say, how he has to say it, things like that. We can do some fursuit talking as well,
Hmm.
because he has a very interesting fursuit, as well as a large amount of other fursuits that we've not actually seen as much of.
I didn't
But
even know he had other fursuits.
yeah, actually, it looks like he might even be. Yeah, he's working on fursuits. He's a fursuit maker. If you ever actually look at some of the stuff on his Twitter,
Hmm.
um, Phoenix the Blade, you can actually see like there are certain fursuits that he himself had in fact made. Like one of them is actually, some of them are really cool. One of them is Azrael, Dreamer from Undertale, his own particular fursuit, uh, and I think he actually also made a Rocket Raccoon.
Interesting.
Yeah, and a Lucario.
Hmm.
Is it Lucario or Lucario or
I think it's Lucario, but I could be wrong.
can
I
can I
I
go with
I, I stopped carrying at Gen 1, so
Agreed, actually.
not
Actually,
not to shit on any Pokemon fans, but yeah, I don't know. Some of the newer Pokemons, they're literally bags of garbage. So
yeah.
yeah, let's just say the bottom of the barrel has been thoroughly scraped. I don't know what they're gonna put out in Sword and Shield that's gonna be unique and interesting.
Some of the new ones have actually been really cool. Gonna say like some really really awesome. Uh, like especially the starting Pokemon have been like super awesome to look at.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Yes. Anywho.
yeah, so
Anywho.
that's Arcantile for next week.
Yes. We do have other guests in the pipeline, as always, for the are listening and listening intently and want us to, get particular guests on. That offer is still obviously out there. There is, of course, I think I I didn't actually apologize at any, did I?
You apologized profusely at the start of the thing, but not necessarily for, like, I don't know for what. Just for the load
That,
shedding schedule.
no, I'm currently apologizing for like our
lack of communication. What is it?
Lack of communication in many senses. Yeah. Um, for a large amount of the things that we haven't necessarily done as an organization with Furry.fm, and other people have already asked about where we are, where we're going, things like that. And I do understand that it is important for us to be able to, be more vocal in respect to what we want to do and how we want to do it. But I mean, be that as it may, we are back. We're trying to be as mobile as possible. We're attempting to find ways to just sort of try to keep everything as, what's the word that I'm looking for now? Uninterrupted as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And be that as it may, oddly enough, with all of these apologies and everything like that, some of the more interesting things that are happening this year is obviously the Coyote Awards and the Ursa Majors that are coming up very, very soon. You wanna go in on this one, Scratch?
May I?
Yeah, go for it.
We've somehow been nominated for an Ursa Major award. Like, I don't know how it happened. I don't know who's responsible for it.
Yes, if we find out who they are, we're gonna murder them. I don't.
Probably not that bad. But yeah. Somehow the south-afrifur podcast has been nominated for an Ursa Major Awards. And to anyone listening who was part of that movement or put us up for nomination, or who have voted for us like recently or already, like, thank you. This is like, we did not expect that at all.
Yeah,
like, woke up one morning to a retweet from Afterwolf, and it's just like, oh, you guys have been nominated for an Ursa Major. Well done. I'm like, okay, Maria?
Now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly, like, there was no way that ever happened. No, I can't understand how it happened. I know that, for instance, we're in extremely good company.
Moms of
particularly
Furries.
Moms of Furries, and obviously
Culturally Eft is there.
Culturally Eft, yeah. And those are like, if we weren't to win, because that's not very likely.
Yeah,
But,
we're up against some stiff competition, but regardless, like, everyone there is super deserving of the award.
But oh goodness me, Moms of Furries has done so much this past year as well. In fact, like, if I had to put this into context, with everything rolling around the way that it did, and like, I was thinking, like, maybe Moms of Furries are definitely going to be nominated or this or that and anything. And what was the word? I was sitting there going like, okay, cool. So Moms of Furries, at some point they're going to be, nominated for this thing, and we definitely need to get to chat to them again, because the last time we spoke to them was probably one of the most amazing things. Personally, I'm not necessarily sure for you, Scratch.
No, it was definitely very inspiring.
And so like that as soon as I saw their name, I actually sort of I tunnel visioned just a little bit, because I was looking at the list and I saw Moms of Furries. I was like, yes, they're there, and I'm totally gonna vote for them.
And then you scroll down like just a little bit.
Scroll down with my eyes because it's a short list. And our name was there, and I'm just like,
what?
Where? Why?
Yeah. Essentially, yeah. The same question I had. Like, what?
But yeah, so be that as it may, obviously one of the other reasons as to why we're kicking our asses here just a little bit more is, we do have like some form of responsibility, which is, I think, the weird thing to say. Like, we have a responsibility to fans, and it's kind of awkward.
Yeah, no, we definitely have a responsibility, which is, like Avik said, is why we are sort of trying to get the ball back up and rolling. We've had a little bit of a lull, but unless circumstances are completely beyond our control, we will do our best to be here and keep providing you with quality entertainment, I hope.
Yeah.
Which is just the mad ramblings of two people on opposite sides of South Africa.
Yeah, and just attempting to find out more about people.
And furries in the world.
Mostly furries. Oh, actually, you know what? That's something that we can also speak about.
Yep.
Quella.
Quella.
Yeah, Quella.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I know, right? It's completely slipped my mind. It's not like it's the biggest thing that could actually happen, like TV wise in South Africa.
Yeah. It's not the fact that it was like in someone's house.
Yeah,
Like a film crew. But yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
A complete film crew. With,
Speak.
yeah.
Speak. Tell us about it. I didn't even know about this.
So, what actually happened? Now, recently, obviously, I'm gonna use more superlatives at some point in my life, but obviously, for those of you who do know, like some South African furs, including myself, were on a radio program a couple of months ago, like near the end of last year,
Mm-hmm.
where we were with a radio show called 94.2 Jacaranda.
Mm-hmm.
It is 94.2. I'm not necessarily.
Yeah, the drive with Roy or something like that.
Yeah, drive with Rian, but not Kruiwagen. But
Unfortunately,
that's
no.
only a South African joke, just by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what happened then after that is that Yote had been approached by a group called Quella as well.
Which is a, what would you call it? A variety TV show in
Yeah,
Afrikaans?
Pretty much, yeah. It's an Afrikaans variety television show. Sort of finds interesting things in and around South Africa, and then does little like reviews of them. Kind of like, in some senses, kind of like south-afrifur, in that they find somebody interesting, they go to their house and they ask them a whole bunch of questions.
Mm-hmm.
They take video and everything like that, and then they leave, and then they create a project. And yeah, so these people, they took interest in us. Most of it is actually in Afrikaans. I believe I'm the only person there who was actually speaking English. I know that they asked that I do try to speak in Afrikaans as much as possible. I didn't refuse as much as I just didn't speak Afrikaans.
There's no budget for subtitles, Ivik.
It's the Squela. It's good. But I mean, like, it's English and Afrikaans. I doubt many Afrikaans people don't understand English.
No, maybe they're just stubborn.
Oh, well, that's also a thing. But yeah, so we were on there. We were in suit. It was more of like, this is the life of sort of episode kind of thing. It was more focused around the idea of fursuit making, as well as, honestly, like, Yote was sort of the main sort of focus within the entire thing, particularly because that was just sort of how the cookie crumbled in that way. It's just that, I mean, he was the first contact, which means that they were very interested in him, and then tangentially there needed to be more information about the furry community in general. So pretty much, like, myself, Iron Wolf, and Yote all sort of agreed to, having our faces live on camera in this little sort of thing. We're hoping that it's not as cringy as other people might think it would be, but I mean, it's definitely a step in the right direction, especially after having our voices on camera for a while. Our voices on camera. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
voices on the radio.
Yeah, our voices on the radio, and then after that, then having this particular interview. So we're hoping to sort of push the furry agenda for South Africa and Southern Africa in general. I know that I really wanted to speak more about, like, personal passions, but I try to get around to as much as I possibly could at the time. So it's definitely something that we got around to doing. And yeah, I'm not necessarily, we still haven't been given a date as to when it's going to be showing, but as far as I remember, production time and things like that, it might take anything between 1 to 2 weeks before it goes out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to make sure to watch. Or will you guys be notified when it goes live?
I'm hoping. I'm hoping that they do notify us, and I'm actually really hoping that they give us a file.
Right. So we can maybe drop it on the YouTubes.
Yeah, because I don't have DSTV.
Oh, right. Shit, me neither.
And I mean, it's
Uh,
particularly a gawk on gaw thing.
Yeah, I'll have to tape it for my mom's house or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like that's not gonna be weird. Hey, mom, can I use your house? I need to watch your DSTV for a couple of seconds to watch an Afrikaans show.
Oh,
that I
just
don't
make a
normally
PVR
watch.
recording of it.
Ja. Maar kan jy asseblief net hierdie ding doen? Hoekom? Konrad is daar.
No, believe me, I can sneak it in. Like
Sneak it to your mom's PVR.
dun, 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 dun.
Freeze! Ah! But yeah, so there's that, which is actually like it's some really really amazing stuff that we can actually talk about. What is our timing currently? Actually, how far? Are we
25 minutes down.
25 minutes down. Oh god.
Yeah.
Let's stretch it. Okay, so south-afrifur. Obviously, you know that both myself and Scratch are working on the convention as well.
Mm-hmm.
The South African convention, and things have actually been going relatively nicely there. Very calm waters currently,
Mm-hmm.
I think. So we're
Venue set, registrations are open, money's flowing in.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh goodness me! People can pay money. Needless to say, I have my own issues here, but there are actually a fair amount of furs who do have a little bit of an issue in respect to sort of things. We do acknowledge that firstly, as the convention. Obviously, our political situation, as well as a whole bunch of other reasons, do kind of lend us to just. I mean, if we break even, for instance, with say 43 members like we did last year,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a win.
Yeah.
Especially if it's 43 like tangentially different people as well. It means that more people can experience and have experienced the convention. And it does look like the lists are a lot like that right now.
Yeah.
Vastly different people coming through,
which is good. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'd love to have more returning just because there's nothing better than a good meme.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously for those of you who haven't have forgotten or anything like that, our theme for the year is
80s.
80s. Oh. So you know we're pretty much breaking out like the long hair and aviator sunglasses, bell bottoms. No, that's 1970.
Yeah, leg warmers.
Leg warmers. Like remember those fluffy ones, the ankle.
Yep.
Yes, that were all neon colored.
Yes.
Knee deep in a poodle. Says.
Wow.
Yeah, bench.
Is that where we get Uggs from?
Yes, that is exactly where we get Uggs from.
Ugh.
Knee deep in a poodle. Oh boy. Oh my goodness, and you also punned it. Because it's not knee deep in a poodle, it's knee deep in a puddle.
My God, you
damn
two.
it! I'm getting hissed at.
My God, you two. Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah.
It is set where? Location?
Location is...
Ekurhuleni.
Ekurhuleni, yes. Ekurhuleni / Eduzani, depending on how many people that we have. Eduzani would then be a secondary like
Overflow
venue,
side.
overflow and things like that. But that obviously depends on whether we hit the overflow or not. One of the reasons, obviously, why we chose this place was because overall, it's definitely a far better venue, like quality-wise. Bedding is absolutely amazing. I've slept in those beds before. I am still hoping one day to be able to get onto one of those beds again. I will furiously cuddle whoever's next to me. Badge already knows that he's going to be furiously cuddled. But yes, mostly because it's also like winter.
Yeah, it'll be nice and fluffy and warm in winter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, sounds nice.
Like, yeah, no, betting is absolutely amazing. I mean, we're not going to tell you thread counts and things like that because those are pretentious. Your thread count is pretentious, sir.
I will say there's a big difference between like its standard like 72 thread count and 300 thread count uh, sheet. I will definitely say that.
What is the difference?
Oh, dude.
Oh.
It's just like it's kind of like the difference between 1-ply and 2-ply.
Oh,
It's about that level of difference.
but not like 1-ply and 3-ply.
3-ply is just excessive. Like, I
Is
feel
it?
I kind of feel like that as well with like too high a thread count. Like, I'm not gonna buy like Egyptian cotton nonsense when it's like a billion thread count. It's just like,
And then you lie under it and you're like, oh my god, I can be warm and cold at the same time while having the same amount of blanket.
it's like how is this? How is this possible? What is this strange amalgamation of materials?
Heresy! Yeah.
Yeah, essentially. So yeah, there's a big difference.
Okay. I mean, and honestly, there's also a big difference in pricings that we.
Good segue.
Yeah, there's a big difference in the pricings that are being sort of put forward. It's it's 1,000 rand up from last year, sort of all across the board, if I'm not mistaken.
Roughly, yeah.
Roughly around about, yeah.
Yeah.
With the highest tier being 2,000.
No, $3,430, I think.
$3,430. But then there are added optionals and things like that where you can actually bring your pricing down to a far more, what's the word, reasonable pricing. So obviously, like additional extras and things like that, you can select and deselect and everything like that, which is actually very useful.
Yeah, the price you mentioned was the super sponsor level pricing. So this is for people who feel like, I don't want to say they want to get the maximum con experience, but there will be some additional goodies that we will be handing out to those individuals, and any leftover cash will, like last time, be used to like fill any financial gaps and go to charity.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking about charity and things like that, for those of you, this is also one of the things that we also found out between now and the last time we actually ready to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, for those of you who don't know, south-afrifur as a convention actually still managed to raise, I think, when it comes to an fur-by-fur basis. Last year we managed to raise, I think, the 5th highest fur-by-fur amount of money in all conventions, in essence. Like, it was like an average of like $5, if I'm not mistaken, more than that, maybe,
Per person.
Yeah, per fur.
For charity.
For charity, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a list specifically for like how, like, which cons were the most sort of charitable. I think that was what the list was about, right?
Yeah. And those are other things we can also talk about. Speaking about, like, conventions and everything like that. For those of you who've been following a little bit of the chitter going around on some of the groups and things like that, we still have a hope that, for instance, Fox and Pepper would be able to come to the convention. Hope is still out there. Currently, just things have probably been relatively busy for Fox and Pepper, and the thing is that, like, we're still attempting to get like a hold of, so more information as we go. But we do have a fair amount of international furs who are interested in making our way. One of them being, who was it that oddly enough, the same person who put us onto that top 5 list.
Who dat?
Who dat? The Can I do this for like 20 minutes?
Just make random noises.
Completely and utterly shamelessly just fillering. 5 minutes of either gurgling into a mic.
Please no.
God damn it. He.
Who is the man? The person?
Okay, hold on. I can check in Twitter. Twitter.
Okay.
Quartz
Husky.
Husky, yes. It is Quartz Husky, yes. Yes. But yeah,
started off with that, I could have helped you finish.
What, going qua?
Yeah, I'm going qua.
But yeah, so Quartz Husky has sort of semi-approached us in respect to possibly coming to the convention. Again, all of these things are obviously in the air, but we do like mentioning them because, you know, love is love and we love everyone.
Yeah. More like plug is plug.
Plug is plug. But yeah, so I mean, like we do appreciate like some of the all of the attention that South Africa is in fact getting on media and social media and things like that. And it is very, very appreciated that we do exist in some of the best company around, honestly. And that's something that we're really, really proud of. Is that in 3 years that we've been running so far, this being the third, things have been going relatively according to plan, and I've probably just jinxed the entire thing, and we're probably going to burn down the entire building by the time we get there.
Yeah. Let's try not to do that, okay?
Yeah, let's try not to do that. But then again, I mean, thatch roofs.
Yeah, but
suddenly you realize the truth, in my
yeah, but we had thatched roofs. We had thatched roofs the first con as well, and that didn't go up in flames, literally.
Those were higher roofs.
Were they? I wouldn't know.
I think. Whatever. But yeah, so very, very excited for all of this, and actually like getting close to the wrapping up point. I know that Scratch and I are obviously busy working on the merch gets, as well as some really, really fun stuff for that, by the way, like raffle prizes, goodness knows what else. And I mean, because we're a smaller convention, like there's a fair amount of things that we can kind of get away with. And we obviously, like, because South Africa is such a starved area for furry merch outside of, like, you know, personal things that we have, like
and
artists,
like fan con or something like that.
Yeah. We tend to try to bring as much outside merch inside to South Africa when we can for the convention itself, and that would all obviously go to raffle, and off the raffle be part of our charities and everything like that, which is amazing. I've loved the way that we've run the con for that particular matter, in the fact that it's never been for profit. It's always just been this idea that, you know, whatever money we make, it literally gets funneled directly into whatever other project we have or into charities. And that's definitely it. It makes me warm and fuzzy.
Any more so than you already are.
Oh, that was. I'm not sure if I should take that as a compliment, but sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, in regards to the con, we still have the entries for T-shirt designs are still open. Just putting that out there. If anyone would like to submit a design for a T-shirt to be put up for consideration, that would be the official convention T-shirt. Please let us know.
I know that, like, for instance, oh right, we can. I'm not sure if, God, with the power outages and things like that, we're obviously not going to be able to necessarily follow our own conversations or post any of the links. But hopefully, when I do get back on, because I think I'm scheduled to be on again at like what 9:30.
Yeah.
So around about 8:30, when my PC's up and running and things like that. And one of the things that you should all know is that as soon as we're up and running power-wise, we'll send out a tweet and let you know that we are in fact coming back online and live for some Miyazaki,
as we usually are this time of the night.
But obviously with some of the issues that we're currently facing, it does become a bit more difficult to do that.
Yeah, such a ball like why I don't know how one person can fix this. Like just you can go off the grid as much as you want, but that's still just going to cost you an arm and a leg, and it's only for the people who actually can afford it and have a freestanding house to do that with.
Very few people actually can afford something. Is it okay if I finish this bed? Okay. Cool. Sorry. Gurgling noises in the background are me pouring Scotch whiskey into a glass.
Damn, son.
Obviously. Damn. What was it? The fact that it was pouring as much as that, like glug 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 glug.
Kind of, yeah. That and the fact that it's like 2 on a Sunday and you're drinking, but
it's 2 on a Sunday.
But it is also St. Patrick's Day, so
yeah. It's funny that I'm drinking Scotch. The only reason why I'm drinking Scotch is Badge is Scottish. So he's kind of Scot, but he's Scottish. I'll see myself.
Yes, please. God fucking damn! I heard that. There's no need to rub it in.
But yeah, so we're just drinking on St. Paddy's Day, but obviously Badge isn't. I am. I'm drinking for both of us, particularly because I drank for both of us yesterday. A liter of whiskey later.
I also had some wine yesterday for a birthday thing, and didn't turn out as good as I had hoped.
Yeah.
Because I was supposed to be somewhere else. Like I told you, I went out for day drinking with the friends for the birthday thing. Mm-hmm. Then I came home and I was supposed to go somewhere else for a bar in the evening, and then I just decided to let me just close my eyes for a little bit, and boom, 10:30. And that was bad because I missed out on a kaya, which I was supposed to be at, which was I feel like a dunce for missing out. Fucking wine, I hate wine.
Yeah, wine does make me sleepy. Like it's definitely if it's weird. Like if I have too much whiskey, I have no, actually maybe Doge.
Yeah.
Badge will be able to attest to this or not, but whiskey gives me an automatic shut-off switch, one that literally wherever I am, I may in fact just walk to a particular area, lie down, say goodnight, and fall asleep. That's on whiskey.
Interesting.
On wine, on the other hand, I don't actually know what happens. Badge? What happens on wine? I have what? I've physically been unable to drink enough to find out.
Okay.
Fair enough. Because I drink a lot of wine, actually. Like wine is it's a staple. But whiskey.
Yeah. I think this isn't good filler talking about our bad drinking habits.
Fair enough. But yeah, sure, okay. Other topics of conversation. So yeah, we've gone through obviously our apologies, we've looked at scheduling, Archentale being next week, the Coyote Awards. We actually only spoke about the Ursa Majors. The Coyotes are coming up as well, which is something that we can plug absolutely, what would you say? Absolutely guilt-free. We can plug this.
Yes, because we are not nominated.
Yes, because we're not writers.
Yet.
Oh God! Why would you want me to be? Why would anybody would?
Didn't you always want to be a writer?
You know what's funny?
What?
I write in Coyote, right? So Koi, and I get to where I'm supposed to be with the button, and then it just goes, "No, I'm just gonna give you Koi," and I can't type in the entire Coyote. Because every single time it pops up, it goes coyotelawards.org and then just disappears on me.
The internet's weird sometimes.
Well,
It's called packet loss.
It's called the Coyote Awards. The nominations have been tabulated. Final ballot has been compiled. This is reading directly over the website. Nominations for the 2018 Coyote Awards are as follows. There is... Oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Gold is in this list.
Does that surprise you?
Not really, but the thing is that like the Coyote Awards are definitely a lot more different in respect to the way that the awards are given, handed out, and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So very, very interesting to have a look at this particular list. So nomination for best novels are The Demon and the Fox by Tim Sussman. There's The Moons of Barsk
Mm-hmm.
by Lawrence M. Schoon. Then there is Small by Gress 7G Lutterman. Greg Lutterman. I think we actually... I've seen that name a couple times before, and I think that Greg has actually been doing like a lot of good work recently.
Mm-hmm.
Space Unicorn Blues. That's currently almost immediately just by title my favorite. Space Unicorn Blues
Interesting.
by T.J. Berry. I don't know why, but I just reminded of like Barry and Other Barry.
I don't know who Barry and Other Barry are.
From Archer.
Oh, right.
Yes, Other Barry.
Oh, Barry and Other Barry, yes.
Yeah. Okay, and then obviously the Kyle nomination for Tie Games.
Mm-hmm.
Tie Game. T-Y. Tie Game. Those are the nominations for Best Novel from the Coyotes. Coming up after that, we've got the nominees for Best Novella with Queen of Arts by Frances Pauli, A Silence of the Dragon by Madison Keller, and then Voyage of the Dogs with Greg van Eekhout. Greg van Eekhout.
Why does that sound remotely Afrikaans?
It does, but I'm pretty sure that it's Dutch more than anything else. I'm
Probably.
pretty sure that they moved.
It's probably Dutch, yeah.
Very definitely Dutch. Very interesting. Greg van Eekhout. That's the nominees for Best Novella, just the three of those there. And then nominees for Best Short Stories. My goodness. What is up with all the like semi here?
Semi what?
The semi-South African names. Like, really. I'm going to leave the best for last, particularly because, like, suspense and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So, nominees for Best Short Story is The Road of Dust and Honey by Sirska Greyraven, who actually has two nominations in here. The other one is Roses, both of those by Sirska Greyraven. Then we've got Cigarros by Watts Martin, and then Zoo by Ellen Denton. Denton is a surname that I remember quite often, so that should be interesting. And then again, one of these names that really sort of pops out to me particularly is this one short story then called The Only Harmless Great Thing by Brooke Boerlander.
Oh.
Yeah.
Probably Bollander.
Probably Bollander, but I'm going to call her Boerlander. Yes, funny Boerlander. Western Cape.
Yep.
You're either from the Boerland or you're not. Actually, you know what? That is actually kind of one of the more interesting things that we can actually say about the Western Cape. They're very distinct lines.
In the sense of?
One of them is the, what's the word? The Koeksuster Gordijn. Of the
Boerewors-gordijn, man.
Yeah. Which is the difference between...
Cape Town proper and the northern suburbs.
Yeah. With the northern suburbs being like, what's the word? Tygerberg, Diefmalan areas. Belleville. Durbanville. Now, would Durbanville put themselves, just because it's Durbanville, on the other side of the Koeksuster Gordijn?
Boerewors-gordijn.
Boereworsgordijn.
And they're not. The Boerewolfsgordijn is like technically demarcated by that big upslope on the N1, like where the old Toys R Us used to be.
Huh. You mean the one where that like adult store?
Yes.
Ah. Because there's nothing better than putting an adult store nearby and or right next to a Toys R Us.
Which is now a Toyota dealership.
Ah.
I know, shit's changing.
I still know that we never went in there. I know that we wanted to. Random aside, back to the actual story here. Nomination for best anthologies. One of them is Claw, edited by Casey Alpinus. Casey, whose name has actually been popping around quite a lot. Large amount of either story wise. If I'm not mistaken, isn't it Casey that also created that one game?
Which one?
The one game that I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't
know either. But anyway, so Casey Alpinus doing like helping editing the Claw anthology, and then we've Dissident Signal. That was also edited by Night Eye, Dayspring, and Slipwolf. Hey, Slip is here. Obviously, hey. Do yourself a big favor. Slipwolf, always vote for them because it's Slipwolf, and Slipwolf is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then Heat number 15, produced by produced by The Dark End, and then Tegan Gavette.
So those are the nominations.
Those are the nominations. So those are the nominations for Best Novel, Best Novella, Best Short Story, and Best Anthology. Voting is open to members of the Furry Writers Guild Friday, May 17th.
I was about to say, this is like only the Writers Guild that...
Yeah.
Like, general public can't really vote on this, can they?
No, but I mean, it is definitely very... Particularly because it's not actually a popularity as much as it is a people within the Writers Guild, much like honestly the Oscars are, that there is a particular guild. It's not a everybody. It's not one of the awards, for instance, where like if you really wanted to get that kind of attention, you could get your entire base to just vote for you.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how many people actually do vote, you might find that people win a vote just by sheer force of numbers.
Yeah, that's not going to be the case here.
Yeah, it's definitely a considered vote. It's very, very interesting to actually this one to see where the the barometer of where our writing and things like that are going. It's very, very interesting to see this, and I think if I'm not mistaken, this is also the only award that Kyle Gold still stands for and with ever since he stepped down from
like the Ursa Majors.
From the Ursa Majors, yeah. Speaking of which, we should probably get. I would love to I would love to speak to Kyle Gold. Be awesome.
Yeah, I think we should get him on again.
I find conversations with him to be very, very entertaining.
Sure.
But then again, that's also the same thing with all of the storytellers that we have. I mean, Kyle, Tempo, so on and so forth. So all. Fucking, what the hell was that?
What? This?
Hey?
This noise.
What noise?
Oh. No, I don't know what you were just going on about.
No, my tongue was so tied, it sounded like turkey.
Okay. I thought there was a noise coming from my side because I cleaned my pop filter.
No. Where was it?
Writers, Kyle Gold.
Right. Yes. So yeah, Kyle Gold and writers really had, including surname Hugo. Every single one of the writers I've had on have had such good stories. Love good stories. Because it means that we don't have to talk a lot, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And B, because all the stories are damn well interesting. Sit there going like, oh, yes, absolutely. Those are like the only noises you allow yourself to make. Because if you make any other noises, then you startle the writers.
Yeah. And they tell, obviously by nature they're good storytellers, so they pad the runtime quite well. To put it bluntly.
There's nothing better than padding. Unless, no comment. Leaving that.
Yeah,
We're
stop
going-
that. Stop that.
So, speaking about stories that are sort of coming up currently, obviously those of you who are following Marvel Universe stuff, one of our interesting stories that I think Scratchboard was the fact that James Gunn
has been
uh,
reinstated on for work on the new Guardians of the Galaxy. There was so much,
GOTG.
so much fan outcry because of tweets that he made in the past and Disney firing him and whatnot. But even like, who's the actor who plays Draxus?
Oh right, Batista.
Batista, yeah. He was like, I will hang it up. I will not play as this character if they let James Gunn go on this project. I will commit like career suicide if they don't bring James Gunn in.
What exactly was the reason for James Gunn sort of
people dug through his old tweets and they found some stuff that wasn't super kosher. Like I think there was like kind of sexist or something. I'm not 100% sure. And then like a lot of people got up in arms, and Disney was just decided like they want to distance themselves from it, so they fired James Gunn.
But I mean, like, there's obviously always like two sides to a story. And,
Yeah,
I mean, much like, for instance, what happened to the Oscars dude.
Oh, what's his name? Who was that? Was it Chris Hart or Louis C.K.?
I think it was Chris Hart.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, if you look at that, like, and that's a very interesting sort of segue that we can into, particularly because the furry fandom is very similar in its reaction to things.
Mm-hmm.
A large amount of the time, it doesn't necessarily get noticed as often. Is the idea, for instance, if you do call someone out, and they have the balls to stand up and go, "Shit, man, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry." Then 9 out of 10 times, those people get forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Not forgotten, but they can go on with their own lives. Holy shit, you said sorry for the really, really terrible ideas that you had.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what happened with James Gunn as well. James Gunn kind of sat there going like, shit, I said these things, I'm sorry. And people were like, yeah. You know, do you, and we'll keep you where you are.
Well, then he got fired. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's because it's like peace isn't newsworthy. Like people making amends isn't newsworthy. So obviously, people want the sauciness. People want the drama. So they're not going to follow people who repent for their sin, not really their sins, for like the stupid stuff they did when they were younger. It's like, this tweet from 10 years ago does make me seem like a sexist asshole. I apologize. I wasn't thinking clearly that day, or I have grown up since. End of story. And then people are just like, okay, cool.
Yeah, because that's kind of what should happen in those kind of situations. And half the time, not half, 3/4 of the time, everybody doubles down.
Yeah.
I'm really sitting here going like, why would you? Like, it's a 10-year-old tweet. You've grown up since then.
Yeah.
You know, you do you, buddy. If you want to just double down on something that you thought, that's not a criticism against you. It's a criticism against your idea at that particular time.
Yeah, but not everyone's going to see it as such. Like, that's the problem.
Such a relatively easy idea of actually doing that. You said they're going like, okay, I can see where your point is. I'm sorry that that's the case. As long as you don't do the sorry, not sorry. which
Yeah.
is, I'm sorry that you got offended.
Yeah, the non-apology.
Yeah, the no.
Yeah,
I'm
that.
sorry you got offended.
Yeah, that always feels like a bit of a dick move. I mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
okay.
No. I don't know what I was gonna say. It just feels like s- people make a little bit much ado about a lot
Mm.
of stuff.
Oh, very true. Like, I think that, I don't know, like, oddly enough, the furry fandom is definitely getting a lot more notice recently. Oh, that's something that I do want to talk about. Haha, we'll talk about it in 2 seconds.
Okay.
But the furry fandom has been getting a lot more notice recently. Like, been a fair amount of documentaries that have been nothing but positive towards furry fandom. The very fact of the matter is that these are now kind of spoken about in a semi-positive perspective and a semi-negative one, which is
Mm.
good. It's a change of scenery. It's a change of perspective, and I think that that's always going to be such a good thing for fandom itself. Um, Personalities, for instance, because that's also a thing that's been happening recently, especially with three H3H3,
Mm-hmm.
and like the entire controversy around that.
I don't even know
Because
what happened there.
I don't know, H3H3 decided to like try to get in on this whole furry deal. Ooh, going to go and interview some furries kind of thing, and then like the furries that said yes happened to also be relatively like good barometers and like, useful for the furry fandom. But
God, I
because
hate
it
it when
is,
that happens.
yeah. But the thing is that like the intent behind H3H3 interview with furries um would have been in bad like
In bad taste, or
in
like,
bad pretty much in bad taste. H3H3 was obviously just going out to try to shit out of furries, and that's the wonderful thing about it is the idea that like, oh cool, how do we become re-famous again? In H3H3 is, at least maybe in my eyes, and correct wrong, but H3H3 is in many senses, and like the moment, and that's coming from the moment you turn to furries to say, let's point and laugh at them for, relevance again, you've lost it.
mm-hmm. It does kind of feel like it.
How do you make fun of something that literally makes fun of itself better than you can?
Yep. If there's anyone who knows how to hate furries, it's furries. Seriously.
Yeah, definitely that.
It's like, yes, we know everything. Like everything you're trying to point out, we've been pointing out for years.
Yeah. Look at these people. Look at their lips. That entire meme.
Mm.
And I mean, that's perfectly fine because we are and that's what I love about
We ourselves.
critical.
Oh yeah.
We're critical of ourselves far more often than we're not, because we have to be.
Yeah, we have to. We are. I think a lot of us are painfully aware of the sort of the image that we portray and like the
Yeah.
image that we're trying to portray.
Furries spend a large amount of time themselves. That's kind of awkward to say because it makes us feel like conceited and that, but it's true. We are conceited because we're our own best fans.
And worst fans.
Yeah. But that, be that as it may, the thing is like we do have the ability. Oddly enough, the furry fandom self corrects itself really really easily. It's probably one of the most amazing things I've seen out there. Is that
Mm.
like as furries, you kind of sit there going like, "Holy crap! This person's saying a whole bunch of really weird shit," and everybody else is like, "Hey, yes, I agree with you," and then they disappear. And you're
Mm.
like, "Ha! The furry mafia wins again."
Yeah, because that's totally what we have.
What? Make him an offer. He can't refuse. Shit like. 'Cause I can't do a Jersey accent.
No, you have to do it with the proper like
Husk.
yeah, the Marlon Brando cotton wool in the side of the mouth. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. That kind of thing.
With a lisp.
Was
As
a
well.
little bit of a lisp.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. And then onto the thing that I really, really want to scratch. If you
Yes.
haven't played Super Animal yet,
Super Animal what now?
Super Animal Rumble.
No, I have not yet.
I need to re-mention this to you. Super Animal, favorite game. Royale. I call it.
Super Animal Royale. Okay.
So it's pretty much side scroller. Side scroller. No, not side scroller. Top down. Pretty much like Crimson Land shooter.
Mm-hmm.
You run around. You pretty much do like battle royale,
Yep.
but as the cutest fucking animal on earth, getting
Interesting.
shot in the face.
So
Shoot,
it's a battle royale.
yeah, it's a battle royale, top down, but Crimson Lands.
Interesting.
It's actually really it's oddly enough a lot less tilting than any of the other battle royale games I've played. And that really speaks volumes because I get very tilted very quickly, but it's mostly because when I'm playing G, my heart nearby the end of a particular sort of round is just going 500,000 per hour.
Yeah.
Like I am freaking. I've never won a game of PUBG before, but I've won numerous games of Super Animal Royale. That's the difference.
The best that I've managed to do in any kind of royale game was get like 11th in Tetris 99.
That's a game?
Yes, it's Tetris Battle Royale.
Tetris Battle Royale.
Yeah. It's free on the Switch. You sound super stunned.
I am.
Yeah, so you play
Tetris.
against 99 other people and you decide where your it's like Tetris 2 player except like everyone can target everyone else. So you get garbage lines thrown at you from everywhere sometimes.
Sure. From 99 other people.
Yeah, not obviously not all 99 are focusing on you unless you're super unlucky. But yeah.
Have you ever had all 99 people?
No, I don't think anyone has ever had because everyone's focusing on playing Tetris.
Yeah, fair enough. Huh. I didn't know that was a battle royale version of
Goddamn Tetris.
Yo. I mean that's almost just weirdly enough, and I don't know why, but a large amount of people are playing chess now.
I'm playing?
Or not World of Warcraft, like Dota chess.
What the hell's Dota chess?
Exactly.
What is it?
I don't know what it is. All I know is that Dyrus has started. Like most mornings, I wake up and I'm like, "Oh, Dyrus is on. What's he doing? Playing Dota chess." And then I watch him for like 3 hours.
Okay.
And sit there going like, "I still don't know what the fuck you've done."
Ay.
Yeah. But yeah. So as far as I remember somebody was mentioning this in one of the Telegram groups. Is that apparently Aaron from Game Grumps
Yes.
is confirmed furry.
Really?
I
thought Danny was confirmed furry.
Was it Danny or was it Aaron?
I don't know. Like
Aaron.
Like Danny was the one who's always been, like. There's more, as far as I know. There's more more evidence against Danny than Aaron.
Obviously, we fuse the two of them and create
Darren.
Aries.
Derek.
Derek.
Anyway, so what's the scoop there?
I don't actually know. I think I saw it in one of our Telegram groups. It's mentioned. One of them is a furry confirmed even. I'm not necessarily sure whether that's absolutely true or not. And I'm kind of sitting here going like Game Grumps have done this kind of shit like more often than ever. There's no way that yeah. Why
Yeah.
is this funny?
Uh.
They're scrolling.
Yeah.
They're scrolling, aren't they?
I don't know.
They're grumping. God, just imagine that as a dance move. Like anything called the grump. It's like you got dabbing and then you got grump. That's what you have there. Everybody pulling down like a long.
Where is this taken? I'm looking at a photo. It's just like Danny standing next to an otter. I think it might be at an aquarium or something, like an otter fursuit. It's just everyone's just like, yep, Danny equals furry confirmed. And there's a whole compilation.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Definitely gonna check that out. I'll do that when we finish our show. It is what? It's 3:10 now, so we've actually.
You've been going for just over an hour.
Yeah, hour 5 minutes, so on and so forth. Yeah. So, Danny possibly confirmed furry. I mean, there's always hope.
Who even knows?
I don't know. Like Game Grumps are very, very open. That's the one thing that I've seen quite often. Is that like, much like comedians everywhere, they make fun of everything that exists
and themselves.
Maybe they are furries. I know that I've heard both of them mention, for instance, that crystal is hot to them.
Yeah, well, like everyone has like a video game. Everyone who's played video games for a long time has like that one video game crush, and it isn't always like human.
Yeah. But I mean, like at the end of the day, like maybe we care, maybe we don't.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched Game Grumps in so long.
Yeah,
I've just been watching Day 9, and
I think I'm definitely gonna like, binge watch just now.
Yeah, I need to do a few other things, but yeah, I will be watching some Grumpage.
So Super Animal Royale, boxes are obviously things that pictures.
Is it free?
Yeah, well, I mean it's free. You can play it for. There is a free sort of demo. You can actually just play as much as you want to, and if you characters and updates like that, you pay like 100.
Okay, that's not too bad.
And it's all of this is all.
Is
Super
what?
early access.
Oh, early access. Okay.
But super early access. It's not even early access. It's super early access. I don't know what it means.
It's alpha.
Yeah, it's alpha. It's like 0.01. Like,
yeah, that's alpha build. Like, people need to stop coming up with like super ridiculous early access to get it now. Just call it what it is. It's freaking. It's alpha build.
But yeah, so I mean, like there's like characters coming in there. Somebody, Fennec, Fox, eagles, maybe geckos.
Interesting. I'll definitely give it a look.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. Like I love it because again, like I'm the first time I played it, I was immediately. Now I've forgotten what the name was. What was the name? I mentioned it earlier. Crimson Land.
Oh yeah, Crimson Land.
You remember Crimson Land? We loved.
I loved playing Crimson Land.
But it's exactly the same thing. It's mouse point and click, and like arrows move your character, and you shoot at everything that.
Awesome.
Unless it's your teammate, because you can't hit them.
Oh, it's a team mode as well.
Yeah, it's completely that word.
Battle Royale. Team based.
Yes, team based. Well, I mean, there is a team based stuff. Battle Royale.
Okay. I'll give it a look.
Yeah.
I think we've like passed the hour and we're sort of padding for time now. So
yeah, and unfortunately, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah. So for those of you who, it will most probably be around past 9. uh,
Mhm.
9ish, and we're stopping off here. But for those of you who know, I mean, like past 9, that would mean that we would only, or at least you would only be able to hear from me around about 15 minutes later. So, with it being 9, I'm gonna finish off. So I'm gonna pad for like another 2 minutes. Uh, but yeah, so within those 2 minutes, obviously, it'll be 15 minutes until I get back online. It'll depend on the timing from the power stations when they switch us on, things like
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
You can,
I would assume just watch Twitter. You would, I think you'd probably still have access to Twitter on your phone, right?
yeah, but only as I've. I don't have my other accesses available.
You don't. Okay.
Yeah. So in other words, my Twitter is on PC.
Okay. Let me know. I think I have access to that Twitter. I can put out a message.
Sweet, that will work.
Okay.
But yeah, so as soon as we're live, definitely let you know. There should be an up. And yeah, we're actually going to, after we finished here, I'm putting out a tweet about the tweet that we're going to talk about then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So lots of tweets incoming.
One tweet incoming, hopefully.
All right.
Nothing more than that. But yes, thank you all for listening. And yeah, it was actually a pleasure just being here again, talking about like South Africa and talking about the show in general.
Yeah. And also this time we get to plug a little bit. Vote for us.
Yes, vote for us. We should definitely.
We definitely deserve it over Mom's Furries.
Yeah, completely. Please
Totes.
don't vote. Don't vote for anybody else. Maybe just vote. Then again, nobody else heard. Fun guy. Yeah. So this is Ivik Wolf signing out for now. Obviously, in a couple minutes from now, we will, as is customary, on Sunday evening. And yeah, Scratch, anything you want to say?
No, I'm good.
No, good.
Recording
All
will
right.
be up a little bit later in the evening. My power should be back on at about like 8:30ish or so. So around about 9, either tomorrow, either later this evening or tomorrow at some point, I will put the recording up on YouTube.
All right.
Yeah. See you guys next week then.
Yeah. See you guys next week with Arcantale.
Have a good evening.
All right. Have a good evening.
Bye.